Organized by the Ideamart team of Dialog. And the whole idea behind this exercise is to get developers and the Ideamart community, the content providers, together in one hall and basically discuss ideas, try and get, for the developers to try and get some new ideas, plus help you out with help you out with the ideas that you have and kind of engage them. And I actually want to show you this video. It basically is from Inception, movie Inception. Any of you all have seen movie Inception? Yeah. I'm pretty sure you missed out on this particular conversation between Leonardo DiCaprio and the rest of the crew. Basically talks about what an idea is. Right? So what is an idea? Concept or mental impression, cognizance, an idea arises in a reflex. Most importantly, spontaneous. Right? You could be walking down the streets, you could be having your lunch, right? As you wake up in the morning, suddenly get this funny idea. Ideamart is all about making this idea come alive. That's what we have given the platform for, right? And another reason behind this idea dash is to break out from that ambition at times that we feel is kind of hampering the whole idea behind Ideamart. We see a lot of applications that are made to be chats, some to be kind of daily motivational books, etc. So we want to take you from this shuttle and give you an insight to what else you could do using these platforms. Basically, Ideamart is web-based, as you already know, and it is meant to bridge the gap between you and the Dialog network. The Dialog network has so many features. Voice, being on or core business, we have SMS, USSD, and so many other bus services from which 4 have been open to you already. Anybody know what the 4 is? What are the 4 APIs that are available?
Location
You are a developer, you are a developer, and you use this service.
location based and SMS, USSD.
Which has been used pretty much less so understood. Yes, we have given out 4 APIs, which my good friend and boss, Denver, in this would talk about. He'll go into details of introducing Ideamart to you. We have 4 APIs, SMS, USSD, charging as a service, CAS, and LBS, which is the latest edition. And most importantly, I'm not sure how many of you all have noted these down. This is how you can get in touch with us. We repeat this every time because it's of utmost importance to all parties. Since we are building this developer community, for us to know you and for us to get in touch with you, plus get your feedback. Right? So please note these down. We'll put this slide up again later. And please do get in touch with us. Ask us anything. With that in mind, let me pass you on to Mr. Venramentis. So please give me the part.
Hello everybody. Normally these presentations I start by asking, what is Ideamart, and then we'll have a little bit of a discussion. but today is a little bit different because it's been about a year since we've gone live with this. So I'm hoping that I won't be disappointed if I ask that question, so I won't ask that question. So instead, I'm going to start by, looking at some of the opportunities that Ideamart will bring to you, and then talk about a little bit of the sort of success stories. So start with a few numbers. Right. So now, I didn't say that there were going to be no questions. Any guesses as to what that number is? This is an easy one.
Customer base.
Okay, and it's quite right. And this is also the number of API calls that happen on Ideamart a month. So this, again, as I said, translated to you guys, this means revenue. And for us, it's more and more users using this platform. So something else I want to throw into this mix. So 8 million, just talking about reach and the mobile phone. So in Sri Lanka, there's about, if you look at, reaching, communicating to people, radio has a reach of about, 16 million. But then how many people, there's a stat saying that people tend to look at their mobile phones up to 150 times a day. So I don't think a radio has that same impact, that same reach. That's not even talking about all the funky applications that we want you guys to be making. Then of course there's television. Television again, about 16 million reach. But then I don't see many people walking around with televisions in their back pocket. So again, really guys, this is opportunity. This is really something, it's all up to you to turn this into innovative, great services that can be groundbreaking. You've got a channel to reach this many people. Right, so that's another number. Another opportunity for you guys. Any guesses what this number is? This is a big number for Dialog, relatively recently. Anyone?
Easy Cash.
Easy Cash. Well done. So Easy Cash has now hit 1 million customers. So to give you an idea here, we've in Sri Lanka, there's less than 500,000 credit card users. So again, this is a platform, this is a capability that we are exposing to you guys. And also, I think, just let me check. I forget these numbers. That's why I wrote this down. Just another comparison. There's something like 2,800, 3,000 or so touch points around the country for banks, including ATMs. So if you want to go and get money from somewhere, there's about 3,000 places you can do it. But Easy Cash, 14,000 touch points. So again, we've got an API. Currently, it's the Easy Cash button API, but then very soon we'll be introducing a more fully functional API that will let you access this network. Again, a huge opportunity. Okay, this one, now I don't expect anyone to guess this number, except for maybe one person. And I don't think that person is going to say anything. So any guesses? What's this? What is this number? Okay, so this number here is the revenue. This is a revenue one of the people in this room earns. Not the highest, not at all the highest, because there are professional CPs who are using the platform and are making lots more than this. I can't share the numbers, but I can tell you they're making many multiples of this. This is the revenue figure from one of the people in this room who works part-time. This is not his day job. This is just how much money he's making a month on Ideamart doing a part-time job. Oh, sorry, doing a full-time job and doing this in the evenings. So that's the opportunity, and that's what people have been doing with it so far. So now, this is the traditional introduction. So the traditional introduction is Ideamart. We're essentially looking at two segments. One, the Idea Apps part, which there's quite a few people here who already use, which gives you the simple voting, alerting, contact services and services applications, where in a few steps online you can set up services and speak to any of us. Now the usage of this has just skyrocketed. It's being used by everything, right from special interest groups to small societies to large consumer services. alerting services. And of course, Idea Pro. Now, I'm a bit of a techie, so for me, this is the interesting one. This is the APIs, and this lets you go beyond those four template things and start to come up with those really innovative ideas. Now, so far, we've had lots of these templates, applications, a lot of messaging applications, a lot of alerting applications, a lot of chat applications. And what we are trying to do, really push with Roshan's video and things like that right at the start, is to try and start thinking about all of this. We want you guys to start thinking about what you can do with that reach, what you can do with those monetization capabilities, and those other APIs we offer. So the APIs in a bit more detail, I've put a lot of stuff on there, including some things which are almost there but not there. The web APIs, those are there already. Now the EasyCash button, again something that we are happy to talk to you about in a lot of detail, enables EasyCash payments on your website. Now normal traditional banking IPG, there's large costs associated with both the integration, payments to bank, and also there's minimum payments that have to be made through the IPG. EasyCash has none of these restrictions, and you can get this on your site for free. You just need to register as an EasyCash merchant. And the integration, thanks to Charit, is a very, very simple job. But if it's not so simple, you can talk to him again and he'll help you out. Dialog Connect, again, we'll probably do a whole presentation in detail talking about these APIs, but this is our authentication solution, again focused on the web. The communication APIs, we know, we've talked about which are the ones which are being used a lot. LBS, the new one. And of course, as I mentioned, with that reach, that payment capability, EasyCash and to build critical parts of the puzzle. So I believe, okay, that's one more slide. So those are the APIs, and something now we've started ramping up and taking to the public is All Apps. So All Apps is an app store that you can use to publish your services. So one of the things we found, gathered from talking to you guys, is that we need to do more to promote your services. And we are working on it. We are trying to find better ways to do SMS advertising for you guys, trying to work with our partners to give you more services. But one thing we will actively promote, and we are just starting to do that now, is All Apps. So I would encourage you, unless you've got an app that's focused on a special user group that you want to restrict, if it's anything that you want to get those numbers up, put it on All Apps, publish it on your Facebook pages, and use that link to promote your services. Okay, that's all for me. Any quick questions before I hand over to the next step? Or I'm sure we can leave the questions to the end, and there'll be lots more. So next, I want to introduce to you some of the guys who, the users, you guys. So some good success stories, learn from the experience, share the ideas. The main objective of this session is to share each other's ideas, learn from people's successes, and come up with new things or improve the things you've got. So, firstly, I believe it's Rohan.
Yeah, actually, have you ever imagined that a feature phone user use his phone to find locations? So we thought of that, and we came up with this idea to giving the app functionality to a feature phone. So that was our product, but the problem is how we can implement this, because when we thought of this, we haven't this Ideamart or whatever platform. So we thought of going with the mobile operator and selected Dialog. And actually it took very much time to can you hear last one? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, then it took time, nearly more than 1 year to can use this. We use Dialog platform, and we use most of their gateways to implement this. But if we had Ideamart, what happens? Yeah, I will tell you later. And so this basically does is user can request a location map using USSD. Then he will get the MMS of his location. That's the basic idea. And so if we had Ideamart, we could use those APIs to implement this very easily. Maybe within 1 or 2 weeks we can implement this product. But we had not these facilities, so we went with in a hardware. So I am telling that you also can think of these kind of applications. I mean LBS kind of applications using Ideamart, because there is the location-based API now, and these are several applications we recently developed. State drama.lk, those are alert applications, and Bodycard, that is a SMS application, and intelligent SMS chat application, that also SMS application. Using SMS API, we use those, but if we use other services also, we are doing some of those applications in these days, and we can do more products in the future. So I am telling that you also can think of different kind of applications using all the APIs in Ideamart. I think Venura shows the numbers. So we also can earn using these applications, because we have the platform to develop very easily. I can say within 1 or 2 weeks we can develop an Ideamart application and publish in the all apps store. So that's all about it. I just wanted to share that we can earn much more using those APIs if we have a good idea. Thank you.
Thanks for. If you want to actually ask one any questions about the application we developed, so please do now.
So, basically, what kind of data that Dialog extract from the user's mobile when you are giving the location to the user network?
Yeah, if you talk about around you, we are getting much more details. But in Ideamart, we can get a limited number of parameters.
Yeah, that means using the LBS.
Yeah.
So, if you the way you went to do the hardware, what kind of data you extracted?
Actually, we want latitude, longitude, and there is a parameter called accuracy. So those are the things we use to make.
Okay. And actually, this is one of the success stories behind Ideamart, and how a person had used Ideamart to, really take a simple idea to a fair amount of people out there, masses. Mr. Dorsey, please.
Good evening, all of you. I'm just explaining what I have done to the Ideamart and how my application works, how I did the marketing, how it has been success right now. So basically, it's all about daily Islam. So I think you can hear me. It's about the application name is daily Islam. So basically, this is a religious application.
So and also we for a good assistant for you to exercise.
Okay, basically this is a religious application. So we normally send one SMS, one content daily basis to the registered customers. So Islamic content is basically from two parameters. One is from Holy Quran, other one is from Prophet saying. So these are the authenticated Islamic contents we take from the books and send it first to the Dialog Islam subscribers right now. So basically the target group is only Sri Lankan Muslims. So we have a very narrow target group here. So what I say, this is the combination for a successful application here. Basically the content should be quality in the target group in the marketing. These all three are synchronized with each other to be a success application in the Ideamart or anything. So if you say the quality contents, quality is the key, one of the key for the success. It portrays the consistency of your effort. Basically what I am saying, if you are sending the contents to a subscriber will not have the urge to deactivate your application as long as you provide of unmatched quality. This is a key criteria for a quality. So basically the other aspect is the target group. So we cannot target entire population in the country. So basically different application have different target group. So my target group is Sri Lankan Muslim right now. Says this is Islamic candidates. And it's important strategy for the marketing as well. So identifying the target group is one of the key element for the marketing. So the target group for Sri Lankan Muslims. So basically, we'll come to next slide. The marketing. So how I do the marketing right now. So basically there are some techniques which I am doing right now to get the more subscribers to the Ideamart platform. You can see in the slides. So basically the techniques I am using right now, the best one is the handbills which target right audience. So we have printed handbills, it is been circulated and given the gathering and the people where in the mosques and in the public places. The other one is the text messages to our contacts. So for example, we might have 1,000 contacts in our phone book. We are sending the text message asking, this is, say for example, there is application called Daily Islam, you will get these contacts. Please forward to your next your contacts as well. So for example, I may be sending the 1,000 SMS to them, 1,000 customers, 1,000 contacts, 1,000 SMS to the contacts. So they themselves send another SMS alert to their contacts. So it will teach. So basically, it will reach lot of target audience at a simplest way. Other one is the mouth of word. So the mouth of word once it reaches certain standards. For example, it will not come at the beginning at the initial stages. So basically, once the application reaches certain standard, after people will talk about your application, the features and everything. So these are what I am using for my Islam application. These are my key success techniques in order to market. So this is I am showing. This is one of my handles. So you can see how I am targeting the biggest handle and distributing to the people. So there are some concerns right now. So basically, I think Ideamart team will address these concerns right now. So there is every month there is around 10% subscriber reduction because of charging mechanism. Right now, prepaid customers, they don't recharge 30 rupees. Basically, for a subscriber to be continuously been there, the subscriber should have at least 38 rupees, including the taxes. Normally, prepaid customers, they always recharge 50 rupees. It's very difficult to retain a customer. So we are we are putting lot of efforts to market this and getting lot of customers. But all of a sudden they are going away. So I think they will address this concern raised by on behalf of the developers. Other one is the more marketing support for the Ideamart. I think this is, you are doing the fantastic job right now. So we expect more support from the Ideamart to do the marketing. So any question on this?
So what happens when there is no 30 rupees? That you lose that customer entirely?
We lose the customer. Say for example,
Or you get the customer the next time he uploads up 50 rupees?
no, it's like this. Currently what is happening is, Ideamart team, they retries 10 times from 15th to 25th. So if the customer didn't recharge for about 10 days, is gone. So basically this is more problem for the prepaid customers because they normally charge 50 rupees per day and during the day they spend, at night there is no credit.
So why not use a USSD?
So this is I am using very simple application right now.
Yeah,
So use
so just say that if the customer wants to have the savings and all, so he can, when he has the credits in his phone, he can go to the app and call it and take it back. As in,
I don't get it.
rather than going for a 30 rupees monthly
And
payment.
yes.
What I am suggesting is like going for a USSD where when the user wants to get the alerts,
Yes.
as in when the user wants to get the codes and sayings,
Yes.
he can call the USSD and get codes.
Yes, currently it is not there in the idea apps right now.
You can
He's
build it
actually,
manually.
okay, he's not a developer like some of you or most of you. He's just a content provider, right? So he wouldn't have the expertise to go on Idea Pro and develop
Idea
this
Pro and
system.
it.
So now just to add something there, the point of this forum is for people like University to meet people like this. So now if University wants to work with you to build that, you can build it. It doesn't cost you anything other than your time. So the idea of this forum is to get exactly that kind of discussion happening. And also just to add, University, thanks very much. Appreciate it, and I know this is an issue. The charging issue is something that all of you are facing. And Roshan is facing this is the revenue target. So it's a problem that we're all trying to fix. It's very challenging because we have to manage the sort of bill shock effect also, because if someone, in the example Vasily used, if someone hasn't recharged, he goes and puts 50 rupees, immediately he gets 30 rupees knocked off. He's like, what is going on?
Yes.
So there are all of these things we have to manage. So it's certainly a problem that we will address.
Okay. Any question?
So it should be linked to easy cash or something to get money out of another.
Actually, we are developing a small, we are enhancing the platform to ensure that we'll do the charging in a way that the customer will not get affected, plus, basically the subscriber will stay on. Maybe during the next idea batch we will say this.
So,
One of the things is you charge 30, but in installed
Yes,
That's actually what's kind of going to happen.
So basically what I am suggesting throughout the Ideamart, so basically if there is no 30 right now, so charge 50 and give the sales to 15 days. If not 7 for 1 week. Something like that.
Something like that would be the working on it and then doing the necessary changes to the platform.
and see,
We'll
like,
probably be able to announce
if you say like
good news by
per day, 1 day per day, so then you will go for that, just like per second.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Next presenter is Johan. He will take different knowledge. He again has an idea-based application which is using quite effectively. So let me hand over him, and you'll be using Facebook, right?
Hi everyone, good afternoon. I'm Johan, and I work part-time as an teacher of speech and drama. So back in 2006, I founded a group called Drama Auditorium for all drama enthusiasts. So right now it's in its 7th year. We'll be completing 7 years this November. So we started on Yahoo Groups as my over 2,200 subscribers that are on Internet. So the group has become very successful in the fact that it's an online community for people to share events related to drama, workshops, seminars. It covers a whole range of things, but all drama related. So I was approached by Prashant, yes, about 6 weeks ago, and we kind of created this app, an SMS-based API, send out SMS alerts to subscribers about upcoming events, workshops, and things like that. So it's just been over a month from now, but it has grown steadily, and the positive, I've gotten quite a bit of feedback, and it's really positive overall, because especially from those who are out of Facebook, like people who don't maybe use Facebook on a daily basis, they find it very useful to get the alert through SMS. So this, to launch this application a month ago, we did a small promotion. So it was a flyer that was posted and the subscriber details, and we gave away 2 tickets to participate in the went for that page. It was hugely popular, so popular that they had to make shows and everything was basically sold out. So there was a huge demand, over 100 people shared the flyer, and then we had this draw through the repeat performances to select the winner, and we awarded tickets as a prize. But the main idea behind it was to promote the application, and I think I'd like to show you the group itself. So this is what the group looks like. As I said, it is quite an active online community. It covers reviews, drama reviews, and something that happens, upcoming workshops, and now people post. I post often, but those days it was just me. But now, like daily, there are 3-4 people post, and on an average, we have around 2 to 3 new subscribers joining this forum daily. Right now, this is actually the last promotion we ran. We gave away to Sri Lanka in that. It was a free giveaway. Before regular competition. This is the latest trade which is happening right now. Announcements on so yeah, that's where we stand. And we are looking at basically expanding this furthermore, as well as getting more people to sign up for the drama adults app. Yeah, I'm quite excited by it, and thank you very much to the Ideamart team, and everyone who have made this available to all of us, developers as well as the providers, because I think it's really fantastic, and I'm quite excited by this, and I'm looking forward to working with everyone. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them.
So people who regularly use Facebook would not be signing up because there are people who don't use Facebook.
Exactly. I think that is key, because right now with smartphones, what you see is many people have access to Facebook, but there are many who still check once a week, once a month. They don't really see that. So what I was looking at as was some of the school earlier, maybe handbills might be a good idea. I ran an ad in Estonia for a theatre production, so maybe that is a bit expensive, but if there are people who are like diehard fans dramas, maybe that would be an option. Also, like posters at regular theatre reviews and things like that. Also, I was considering sending out maybe a flyer that is like SMS use different methods to promote it. We've also established Twitter accounts. So there are some people I know that who are not on Facebook but on Twitter. So I guess it's a matter of covering different types of social media. And another thing perhaps Ideamart can consider, I think Roshan told you earlier about it, perhaps maybe when an application is launched initially, give a 1 month trial or something so that the subscriber is not really charged, but they can test it out and then they get a SMS saying, okay, from this month, next month, I'm going to recharge. So if that person finds the content useful, they can keep on subscription, but if not, they can always unsubscribe. But then that would give an input, especially for prepaid customers who have to spend like $4 a month at once to be beneficial. Something else was the idea when you register, the great to mask the mobile numbers. Because when I had set up this, I had registered sometime back with that, and I had used my mobile number as the username. And when I set up this application, I was told it can't be changed, so it's visible. So it'd be great if you can do your mask, some sort of username can be established. But thank you very much for the opportunity and your idea.
At the beginning, when I introduced the whole session, I was talking about enriching an idea. When you come up with an idea, we do enrich it. And give some more further feedback on how you can improve on stuff. So Evan came up with the Idea apps-based alert system, and now we're proposing the USSD-based menu for him to have an idea, theatre calendar, purchase tickets if possible, and also find theatres, meeting LBS, and all this could be done on Ideamart. And also, if any developer is interested, after the session you can meet Johan and speak to Johan about developing this idea for him. Well, the next presenter is actually quite creative. A very young guy from one of the universities, and we basically got him to come and present. Vasundu, are you ready about Idea Pro? Yeah. He's come. And he has done a few developments actually on behalf of us. So let's see what he has.
So guys, I'm Sindhu, and I'm a student at NSBM. Anybody who does not know what NSBM is, NSBM is a subsidiary of IDM. My presentation is online at austin.us/Ideamart. So you can go there, and there's a Facebook and a Twitter feed. So if you want to comment or do anything, you can do that. I actually like the Idea Pro is because the Idea Pro API is because they are quite simple. So you get a pictures and a message, and you do whatever you want with the message, and you send it back. So I don't think that it can be more simple than that. That's the main reason I like to develop on the Idea Pro. So I just wanted to ask some question because also on the Ideamart community page. How many are developers here have developed, or if you are willing to develop, why would you do it for? For money? Anybody there? Raise your hands if you will do it for money. Showcase your talent? To fun and curiosity? Yeah. The reason
Sorry, if I can interrupt there. I have lots of work for developers who are working for free.
I actually do it mostly for fun and curiosity. I just want to try new things out. That's the reason. The reason I asked this because I believe that these things will motivate you to either market or not market it. Like if I'm doing on for curiosity, then I will be doing more marketing. So of course, if I do it for money, I'll mostly spend much of bit of money on marketing and getting more customers. So I have like 3 apps and I have more fun things that I've not published just for fun. First one is Chat, Places, and Siravata. Siravata actually sends daily messages on Siravata details like things that happen that you don't believe that can happen. So Chat actually is like others. It is an anonymous chatting service, but those days the problem was you'll have mail on mail, they'll be chatting, then you'll have a huge age difference between the users. So 10-year-old will be chatting with a 35-year-old, which is not kind of good, not kind of very interesting. So I actually integrated Facebook with that to get the correct, to authenticately, correctly take the gender and the age of the users. Other than just sending an SMS, I also could send an SMS with the age and the gender, but that goes. So in the matching process, I actually match male with a female, and it will be also I'll be looking at the ages and like 2 years difference, like for 1 year difference, mostly compatible. So the other one is, this is the most recent one, which Places. It uses the newly developed Idea Pro's location-based service API. So what it gives is you can send an SMS and it will if you type PL space ATM, you will get the ATMs around the area in about a 2-kilometer area from where you are, and you can get police stations, banks, cafes, foods, places, restaurants, hospitals. So in the future, I would be adding we could also say what distance you like to have, like whether it's 1 kilometer from 1 kilometer range, 2 kilometer range, 4 kilometers, something like that. So when I was developing Chat, I had quite a bit of a problem. The problem was Ideamart simulator. It's only a like you can simulate only one mobile phone. So if you are simulating like 2 mobile phones, it is all the responses are on one tab itself. So it's not easy. So it's kind of hard to decipher all the stuff that's happening if you are doing a chat application and messages are going around. So I developed a thing called Idea Group Simulator. It's actually written in Node.js, and if you're on GitHub, you can just clone it and work on it. There is an online version also. So if you have an hosted app, if you have already hosted app, you can simulate it against this simulator. It will work and you can just figure out whether there is a problem with your hosting service or whether it's working properly. So do you want me to show the group simulator? So this is the simulator. So you can configure your app URL from here, where your application is served from. You can also like create mobile phones. There are 2 mobile phones. There is a simulator log also. If I So you get the results, and if you send them a broadcast message, so it will be shown on all the tabs, and it will be also shown on the simulator log as it's a broadcast message. If there are any issues on this simulator, please do make some bugs issues on GitHub or bugs. Put some bugs on GitHub. I'll show you look at it. Anybody on Facebook Ideamart group? Yeah, if you are there, you would have seen any chat going on this. So in the future, I'll be rolling out a new application in about 3 days. Some may like it, some may not. It's based on LPS. So if in another 2-3 days, go to all App Store and just look at my app. I may even get death threats because of this. So something on text, because on the Ideamart group, I've been like a tech support guy. So these are some of the issues most of our tech guys have, and I put these up so you can easily resolve these things. So first thing is like testing. I think you better test everything possible, like whether it's RAGs, double spaces, keyword or something like that. So because you cannot think what the user is going to type, so just be ready for all those things, because I have seen some crazy stuff like 5-10 spaces going, so sometimes it's kind of hard to split those things. Logging is very important, especially on errors. Log your errors and you can go through those errors, and on the Ideamart page there is the documentation. The documentation has most of all the error codes, so you can go through it, and if that's not helping, you can just email it to dev support. They can hosting is also very important, because if you're a PHP developer, there are many issues with hosting, because kind of security reasons they have like put safe modes on, firewalls. So because of that, you cannot correctly communicate with the API. So because of that, I think you must first of all kind of doing an app. Before everything, you must just try and get a hosting service, because after you do an app, if you cannot host it, it's kind of based on your time, everything. So I think you must just work on hosting, and Ideamart also, I believe, have hosting and request and hosting as well. So any questions?
How accurate the details are in the Freda application, as in people can come up with a fake account.
I don't think so. They will come up with a fake profile just to be on Freda chat. So that's the reason. It's more accurate than a person sending his gender and stuff.
Exactly. And the other one is like in the Dialog app, how are you going to update content? As in, like daily you are updating it every day.
Yeah, like I'm sending SMS on stuff that's happening.
Okay, so how many updates are you doing per day?
day one, mostly a month. That's all I do. Because I don't want to pop the users. And if I send about 3, they'll just unregister from that SMS. So I just kind of try to find the best at the most Siddhartha things and just implement it. Okay guys, thank you.
Hi guys. Prashant and Naveen. Hi. So Prashant just mentioned at the beginning that the Ideamart users are having like a tunnel vision, like making chat apps, alert. So we would like you all to go beyond that. So I'll be touching a bit on that. You'll see how Android games and Ideamart can be combined. So start by a question. Can anyone know what's the top grossing app right now? The most money making app right now on Android Play Store? It's a game. And it's free to download. Okay, so the game is Candy Crush Saga. Anyone has played that? So it's a simple game where you match colors. So the game is free to download. But where they make money is to get power-ups, to go extra levels, you have to pay. And it's very addicting game. So people first download it, free, play it, get addicted, and then they start to pay. So in that mode, let's see how you create an Android app. Because I don't think it's Sri Lanka, you may say a game. There'll be a lot less people who would pay upfront to get it. So you're better off taking it free and then trying to get money through the other aspects. So one is level. You can have it today. So this is mainly on the video flow. So you can have it. So let's say the first 3 games are free. And the remaining levels you need to purchase through activate. So now the problem is doing it the normal way with credit card, there will be very less people in Sri Lanka who actually use a credit card to buy. So by having activate, more users will actually purchase the levels. The other one is currency bubbles. This I will give you even more because, for example, one is temporary. Anyone has played temporary? So there are also coins you can either buy coins directly from the store or you can play the game several times to collect coins. So there are also most people just go ahead and buy coins who are lazy to just play on and off. So you can have the same method on your Android app, and again, through Activate, you can buy currency or power-ups. So the thing is game content. So you can have wallpapers, ringtones, like merchandise. 25% of Angry Birds revenue comes through merchandise. So you have to see, you should not look at just one method of making revenue. So we have letters, money through power-ups, merchandise, so it will all add up and make it significant. So this is another way of getting SMS. Now, if you're having a multiplayer Android game and you want someone else to join you who is not actually online playing the game, so you need to send request. You can use the SMS API and send that guy an SMS through the game masking. So there will be more multiplayer games happening rather than you have to call the person up and tell, okay, shall we play a game? You can just from the game itself, you can invite for a game.
things like game newsletter. Like you can have it in addition to the game, you have SMS that will keep the momentum going on the game, keep the buzz on the game. Because normally any game, a month or two, people tend less to play it, and then they move on to another game. So that's why most games add new levels or add new versions. So this is another way of creating that stickiness. So you engage with the users and keep updating. Okay, there are some new levels, play it now. So then he will play it, and hopefully you'll get more money. And another thing is leaderboard. So it creates that social aspect of the game. So if I'm playing a game and okay, I get a high score, yeah, I might end it there. But if I get a high score, but say it says, okay, now you're third. Okay, then I want to play and try to become first. So there you get the social aspect into it. So by sending this leaderboard on SMS, okay, you see, okay, someone has taken over me. Now I have to get back to number one. So then you create more engagement on the games. Okay, subscription based Android games. So this will come soon. Maybe this the next month. Where you can check when he starts on the Android game whether he subscribed. So on the first time he launches the game, you can say, okay, this is a subscription-based game, say 10 rupees a month or something, and then he registers. And then next time he comes, through an API call, you can see whether he's still registered or not. So that's also another method to gain revenue. So this subscription base actually not, it's not only for games, it can be for any Android application. So you all can have subscription Android apps. Okay, so you don't have to, people will go for it because maybe you can have a subscription maybe 1 month after or some way like that. So people would more go for that model rather than paying upfront a large amount. So those are mainly the aspects I thought on how you can get Ideamart into games. Any questions? No, they are. I just put an example. No, if
You should use Google.
yeah, that's if you're putting on Google. So you can have that using Dialog APIs, and you can host it on your website, put it on all apps. And you can also put the separate one on Play Store, which will have a credit card option. So this will be just another version of it, which will support for Dialog users to pay through their bill.
So just to add, Google Play is one channel. If it goes, if the game you produce is a Flash game that's on both Google Play and another platform, then you can use alternate payment mechanisms. That's part of the Google terms and conditions. And also, I mean, we talked about Android. Equally, you could have website subscriptions, all these things using the same API.
Thanks, guys.
The next presenter was a big celebrity sometime back, but now purely turned on content business, and one of the users of Ideamart's Idea apps. So Shan, please.
Thanks, Prashant. As Prashant said, yeah, I was in the TV business some time back, and not that I'm not in it, but I have put my skills, the rate which I put on television production and media a little bit down, and I'm more into content for the past 4 years or 5 years. To be very frank and honest, Ideamart, when Ideamart came into play, I was also shocked because whenever we get ideas, we write to the operators, then they put it into a panel, goes through a huge process, and then suddenly Ideamart comes out and it becomes, all our ideas, great ideas start working out. To be honest, it has been a very niche market. When I started the business, there were only about 4 or 5 content providers throughout, but now it has become bigger, and you all have become part of it, or becoming a part of it. So it's great, and it's always, I believe, having more competition and more content coming in might expand the market and explore, and also exploring other people's apps. We can get ideas, plus exploring each other, getting to know each other. We might be able to get together and do things also. And also, honestly, I'm not a computer whiz kid or a huge talent in IT, but I'm with the ideas and just putting it into this Ideamart and also other content providing on Dialog mainly. I just did a very small presentation, and the first thing what I want to tell was why Ideamart. There are other apps also within it. Ideamart is the most user-friendly app store out of all the mobile networks. It's very simple for a person like me. With an idea, I can go into the site, log in, register myself, and also create the app. If I need ID knowledge, I can get it from some friend, or also I'll explain it a little bit more. And also the mobile networks, out of all the mobile networks, Ideamart is the fastest on approval rates, plus also on helpfulness, especially if we do something wrong or a mistake, the correction and the support which we get is very good on Ideamart than any other app store operated by other mobile network. And the fastness of the approval rate. I remember 5 years ago when I proposed my first app to Dialog, it took 7 months for me to run it and to get going. But today in the morning, if I just submit the proposal by evening, most probably it is been approved, unless it's a controversial thing which also at certain points will be rejected. And also, the most important thing for us, Ideamart doesn't make a lot of money yet, but it will like other regular content. But Ideamart is the most timely payment provider out of all the other apps. That's guaranteed, because I do for other operators also few apps which I have not been paid yet after about 6 or 7 months. But Ideamart, small amounts, but it comes on time. By the 18th or the 19th, most probably it comes. Otherwise, put a call to Roshan, the money comes in, but that's not like that. You don't have to do that. It comes. It's guaranteed. And as I told, there are some places which we have not been paid even after 1 year. And then the other thing is, Ideamart has very less paperwork. Signing up agreements, signing up this, that, sending it, couriering it, delivering it, doing a meeting, all those things are very less. So it's always very easy to work with Ideamart than other. So as usual, I have been in this in Dialog. And second thing, Dialog, we have a 24/7 hotline. I have not seen Roshan. I don't know who he is, but I have spoken to him more. Roshan, the hotline which is given, wonderful day. So we know each other through the phone, but we haven't met, and it's very supportive. And Also even on a poor day or at about 12 o'clock in the night, sometimes I've called Roshan and said, "May another guy have this idea, what do you think?" So he's half asleep, I know. But he says, "No, Mata, it's a good idea," so he wakes up. The support which we get from Dialog on Ideamart is excellent. Which has certain operators, when we ask, they just tell you to refer to the guidelines which is given on the net. That's it, and we have to do a lot of development by ourselves, a lot of self-study. So, cheers to the Ideamart team for that. It's excellent. It's not just praising them, but it is excellent. And we have basic apps actually, which we do, like Ayurveda, then political science by famous politicians, beauty tips, health tips, baby care tips, then religious tips, Bollywood gossip, stuff like that, and also few other apps, and few other are being developed also in the support of Prashant and the team. So it makes a decent amount of money which I can take my kids and wife once in a way on a weekend outing. Plus also when I get stuck, I get a partial payment for my vehicle lease also. That's it, it's good. And the experience with competitors, as I told you, it's so much of documentation, then long approval process. Just like good old days when we started 5 years ago when apps were not so popular. It takes a very long time, and we have to do it in technical support which we get from like Dialog and the payment details. This is so finally, as developers, we all have to push Roshant and then the Ideamart team for what we need from Dialog is more promotions, internal promotions in the network for apps. So if you all can work on that as a team, I think we all can be successful. Dialog can make money, we can make money, and we all can get going. This is what I could say. So internal, as to my experience, now we promote our services through leaflets, and then we do a little bit of events also. We do try to promote on those. But the most effective promotion for an app is within the network. So bulk SMSs or whatever, any other way of promoting it within the network, if we can work out some way, I think all everybody will be helpful and is willing to also pay a little bit of money for it. We could reach bigger heights, and also that's it, I think, from me. And I don't think I'll have a lot of questions like Nalin did have, but yeah, if you all need to know anything on how to promote it or whatever, I'm ready to tell you and share my experiences, and hope everybody will come out with good apps, new ideas, get to it. Yeah, so thank you very much.
So actually I can start from where Shyam stopped. We have inlined 2 other presentations, and actually those will talk about how to promote your apps and give you a few options. So let me start with Dilanka. Dilanka is from a digital advertising team, and also has a lot of experience when it comes to web-based promotions, advertising, and the digital areas. So and also the Google, right? So let me hand you to Dilanka, and let's see how we could get some info on how to use web as an effective tool to advertise apps. Hope everyone's doing good.
So I'm more formal because we couldn't find it at my size. So just a quick background before I jump in. My background is actually starting from the development. I studied IT and then later on moved on to marketing and digital advertising, specialized digital advertising. So some of the questions or debates that we used to have those days was who needs marketing? Developers are the guys who build it, right? So we do all the hard work. Who needs you guys, right? Jump in the fence. I came to realize that okay, you build it, but you have to go and sell it also, and there has to be a reason why you build it. Right? So today I'm going to look at. I inserted this slide because I did feel looking at some of the apps available and going through some of the material that maybe you need to start off right at the top where you help define your idea and how to take your idea to the market. And then afterwards I'm going to just talk a bit about online advertising and the opportunities available. So I'm not going to talk about specific strategies at this event, but just to give you an idea of possible avenues that you can look at. So first of all, you have your app or you have your idea on building an app. And the first thing that you should look at, what you should probably ask yourself, is what is your value proposition? In a nutshell, what that means is what am I trying to take out to the market? So these are essentially questions that I would ask myself in a similar situation. What exactly is my app? What does it offer? Why is it better? And why would someone pay for it? In the basic question you need to ask is, you may be inspired by something you saw. And if you are going to develop an app, you probably need to have a bit of an idea of your competition. And more importantly, you need to understand how you stand out in the market and why someone would use, say, your program versus program A or B. The second is to clearly define who you're trying to take this app or who you're trying to take any product or service out to. So who is your target audience? Right? And how do you keep them engaged? In a situation like this, right, you need constant use, you need to build an engagement strategy, you need to make sure that those people who download your app or use your app, right, register for your app, continue using it, because that's what your revenue model is going to be based on. And then how do I continuously improve the experience, right? Because what happens is, if you take your own idea, right, where did it start? Is it a completely new and unheard of experience or idea, or is it based on something you saw and then did you realize that there are 10 ways to improve this and that's what you want to take out to market? So identifying your target audience and how to keep them on board is the second area. And finally we come down to the marketing strategy. So you've now analyzed and you've identified saying this is my target audience. So how am I going to take my product out to this audience? How am I going to create reach, awareness, and engagement? And when you look at options, for example, right, you can go and spend millions and maybe put a TV ad, or spend millions and put several newspaper ads, right? But the question mark is, how much are you spending on advertising? What percentage of expected revenue is that? And then how are you actually monetizing that awareness that you created? So in a nutshell, right, you don't want to end up spending 1,000 rupees, right, when the revenue you're going to make from that ad is going to be 100 rupees. So that's how you measure your ROI, right? That's the return on investment, and what channel is going to give you the best return on investment. So today I'm going to talk about the digital advertising aspect of things and maybe a few ideas on what we can do without much financial commitment as such. So these three areas ask the questions: what do I want to communicate, who do I want to communicate to, and how do I communicate? Okay, so everybody who develops an app, right, you have your placements on Dialog, all apps, or you have basically some sort of participation mechanism out there, but do you have a base of operations as such? Right? So if you take the digital sphere, where is your audience going to come to for more information? Where is your audience going to come to engage with you or your brand? And how are you going to continuously promote this audience? So there are two mechanisms available online. That is your website or blog, and you have the ability to create social media profiles. Now, websiting may require some sort of investment, right? Whereas creating a blog on a free service or social media profiles are essentially, at least the setup process is free. So my opinion is that you actually combine those two and make sure that you only go ahead with whatever you can manage, right? So don't go and create social media profiles on every possible platform that you can think of, right? If you get on board that platform, right, and someone finds you on that platform, and they see there's no activity, that itself is going to be a statement of the situation there, right? Okay, so why should I download this app, right? That hasn't been updated, Facebook page hasn't been updated in 3 months or 4 months. There's probably the status of the app also, right? And there's going to be a judgment associated with that. So make sure that you bite off only what you can chew. So probably Sri Lankan context, Facebook, Twitter makes sense. You should look at those opportunities to combine with your website. So this is essentially building a platform that you can drive traffic to and engage people on. So online advertising, I categorize into 3 areas: direct marketing or one-to-one marketing, intent marketing, and interest marketing. So what we are doing at Dialog is mostly on direct marketing, where we try to communicate on a one-to-one basis. Right? I won't get into too much details on that today, but I'm going to focus more on intent marketing and interest marketing, which you can do online yourself. So just to define what these two are, intent marketing, in my opinion, is search marketing, where you have idea of what that person's intent is or what they actually want based on how they search or what behavior they see. Whereas interest marketing is where you try to specify, you try to profile and say, this is my audience, this is the kind of person I want to reach to, and then you look at, okay, where can I engage with those people? So simple example is you want to reach the teenage crowd, you go on Facebook, right, with the intention of reaching that crowd. So I'm going to start off with intent marketing, just to give you guys a quick overview. I'm sure everyone is familiar with this context. Right, so the keyword or search term does translate into the user's requirement or intent, and something we should keep in mind is that the search term is also going to have levels. Right? For example, if someone says chat room, or if someone says chat app for mobile, right? You guys have a pretty good idea of what the different intents are in those two situations. If someone says, I've used this example because it's relatively easy to understand, hotels in Colombo, right? You have a pretty good idea of what they're looking for, what area, what product they're searching for. But you can obviously go beyond this, and if you say budget hotels in Colombo or luxury hotels in Colombo, you know specifically that these guys are looking for this particular product or service. So on Google, I've used Google because the majority of Sri Lankans use Google, and it's the globally popular search engine as well. So paid advertising, or PPC, which means pay per click, is what you see highlighted in red. And natural search, or SEO, is where you can optimize your search results. So this is just an example I've taken. I went through the App Store and I saw a lot of chat-related applications, and sure, as Roshan mentioned, maybe a case of tunnel vision. I just took this to elaborate on my point. These are exact searchers from Sri Lanka, right? So they have specifically typed this word out. When you say chat, there are 2,400 people or 2,400 times it has been searched for. An online chat, chat with friends, chat room, random chat. So you can see all of these give you an indication of what the interest is. Right? So SEO right? Or search engine optimization is essentially taking your website or any other web presence, right, and optimizing it for search engines. So you basically try to understand what is your target audience searching for, and based on that you optimize your website so that you appear or you accrue higher rankings on the natural search results. So in this context, SEO has two aspects. You have the on-page and the off-page, right? So on-page, keep things brief, is essentially what you do on your website. So making sure, for example, you are selling a chat app, right? Or you're selling an entertainment app or games or whatever, right? Have you used tools like the Google keyword tool, which is free for anyone to use, right? You can go on that, select Sri Lanka and see how many people are actually looking for related search terms and get an idea saying, okay, this is probably the interest online. And then have you captured relevant content to match that interest on your website? That is on page. And off page is basically where you build links back to your website, right? You have link sharing programs, you comment on blogs and all that, you link back to your website, which is an indication or a pretty good mechanism that search engines use to gauge how popular your website is based on the links coming back onto the site. This is in a nutshell the SEO process. PPC is pay-per-click, right? And what actually happens is you take, this is also keyword driven, right? So if you take the keyword, for example, chat with friends, right? You basically tell Google that I'm willing to spend $1, I'm willing to spend 50 cents or whatever, every time someone clicks on my ad relating to the search term. So you need to sit down and think and decide, saying these are the terms that are most relevant to me. Right? For example, if you have a chat app which is SMS based, right? There are so many, now for example, online chat may not be directly relevant to you. Right? But you can also make associations, saying the person who is looking for the chat experience, right, may probably be interested in looking at my app also. So you can give a customized message like that, chat app for Sri Lanka, having hundreds of people to chat with on your mobile only RX30. Right? So you can give a specific message like that, and you can also target it to Sri Lanka only. So PPC has geo-targeting, which makes it very effective. So you can say only people in Sri Lanka will see it, and you can categorize your various keywords. So people looking for online chat, you can say a better way to chat, right? Get the app on Dialog, or if someone is saying chat, right, say thousands of users, right, you can chat now, that sort of thing. It's all up to you on how you customize the messaging and take it out of there. So these are essentially channels for you to use intent, the user's intent as seen on the keyword, and drive traffic to your website. So how you would go about doing strategy for this is, say you have an application, right, and you have identified, say this is the kind of audience I want. Right? You can go to a tool like Google Keyword Tool, try to see how people are looking for your value proposition, right, your product, the differentiators and that sort of thing. Ensure you have content on your blog or your website for that. You interest an audience who is looking for that, and then use these channels to drive that traffic. So SEO is technically free. It's basically your effort. If you're a professional, obviously, there's an investment involved, but SEO is something you can do yourselves, right? And this is an indicator of how much interest is there for just chat, right? So you can use just search for Google Keyword Tool. You have plenty of ideas there. Interest-based marketing, you have actually several platforms. We talk about Google Display Network and Facebook. So Google Display Network is, have you guys any popular site like Daily Mirror, Papuda, Electric, Infolanka and all of that, have you seen those ads with the little arrow on top? Right? Those are essentially Google ads. Google's display network reaches 84% of all internet users across the globe, and there are hundreds of sites in Sri Lanka, all the good ones Daily Mirror, LBO, all of these guys on the display network. And you can put your ad like this. So here you have two mechanisms. One is if you want to drive them to your website, you can work on a pay-per-click mechanism. But what that means is if your ad is seen 1,000 times, you're not charged to send. Only if someone clicks on your ad to come to your website are you going to get charged. Okay. Or you can go on a pay-per-impression, which is cheaper generally than pay-per-click, is where for every 1,000 times which my ad is shown, I pay. Moving on to Facebook, I'm sure everyone's pretty familiar with Facebook. Have any of you ever done any Facebook advertising or looked at the advertising module? Okay, so several people did. Right, so Facebook essentially is not free. Anything you do on Facebook is fodder for the advertiser. Right, and they can basically go down to the level of targeting your friends or go down to the level of your specific interest. For example, if your competitor has a Facebook page, you can show ads to only fans of that Facebook page. So these are some of the mechanisms available: location, age, gender, interest, and relationships. And you can introduce advertisements like this. So Facebook, I'm not going too much into detail. They have 4 different kinds of advertising, and one of the most effective these days are the newsfeed ads that come up. So you essentially browsing, you're going through your newsfeed. That's your default landing page of Facebook, and then you see your sponsored ads on that. So Facebook estimates that 1 in every 20 newsfeed items now is an ad. So essentially you can that also target and say only those of this particular age group. So if you are looking at teenage audience, now you know how to get through them on Facebook. So I'm going to summarize with some of the free traffic building or free awareness creation opportunities as such, right? So if you can start your own blog or get, I think starting a website these days is relatively inexpensive. I do recommend that if you are targeting a specific country, like in this case, if you are targeting Sri Lanka, you should probably go for a .lk domain. That does take into account, Google does take that into account in location-based searches. Right, so you can, if you start your own website, right, it's just about putting out content, right, that is relevant to your audience, right? So if you are, say, you're going to do entertainment, right, you can use something like the Google Keyword Tool to see how much searches are there for specific articles, specific items like games. Saying that games are very popular, right? If you're talking about tech news, mobile phones and all that, there's about 9,000 searches per month. Nokia, right? There's some 6,000 odd searches for Samsung, right? So why not just write some content on the new article, right, or new product that came out? So you just have to look around the web, get an idea, right? If you have experience with the phone personally, that'd be great. Right? Create your own blog, add a blog post, optimize for that, right? And when people come to your site for genuine content, right, and when you have something to offer for them to stay, right, it's going to be easy for you to say, to be updated of similar tech news or industrial developments or whatever, download my tech news app. Social bookmarking, everybody uses Tumblr, Reddit. Right? So it's essentially community-based content sharing or highlighting sort of feature where you can essentially go on Reddit and say, hey, I found this great website or I found this great app, right? And just put your stuff there. It's perfectly free, just don't spam. Forums, blog posts, you can do your own forums, you can contribute, you create your own thread, right? Or you can join the conversation. Just make sure that you don't essentially hijack a topic or you don't spam, that whatever you contribute is going to be relevant to that. Facebook pages, one thing we look at is create your Facebook page. If you have more than 25 users, then you can get your specific URL, right? Do organic promotions by telling all your friends, give it out to all your friends, like put it in your emails, put it in your whatever sign-up pages inside your app even, right? To give them that visibility. Tweeting, all that is understood. Press releases, you can actually, when you do significant updates, when you write or develop or launch your app, you can actually do a small press release yourself. And there are so many free sites where you can publish your press release on. It gives you great visibility. And if you have your website on the links, link exchanges are also relatively simple. It's basically you have two people who talk about the same thing. I'll link like you. So these are tools you can use to build free traffic onto your website or your social media presence. Right? It's about an online strategy to bring people onto this platform, and while they're on that platform, say, I have a related app, right? Download this, because you can't take your app specifically out there, right, and mention it. And although you may have a page on the app, all apps page, it's a little difficult to optimize or continuously build content around that, just one product listing. So it's probably better to have your own presence where you continuously add content, optimize, and build a community that you promote your app. Thanks, guys.
So I'll be introducing our next speaker. So next speaker would be India. She is from a company called Celtic. So you'll get really interesting. What they do is they run a service I don't know, 077 Live. It's sort of flash-based message on your phone. So it's a advertising platform. So she's going to tell you on that and how you all can use it to promote your services.
Good evening, everybody. India, Sashitri, Mama, Celtic Technologies, English content education, Ideamart App, they have what foundation as well about that. And so we meet this is one of the launch technical corporate Celtic Technologies, content providing in Kiana Saturday, after Ideamart top revenue earnings ඉතින් අපේ සක්සස් ස්ටෝරි එක කැමති ඔයගොල්ලෝ හැමෝත් එක්ක ෂෙයා කරගන්න අපිට කොහොමද වෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ කියලා. Celtic ඉගෙන මුලින්ම කියනවා නම් Israeli based company එකක් UK හැම continent එකේම regions වල තියෙනවා. basically අපි ලංකාවේ වැඩ කරන්නේ මීට අවුරුදු 2004 වල වගේ අපි ඩයලොග් වැඩ කරන්න පටන් ගත්තේ. එදා ඉඳලා අද වෙනකන් අපේ බේස් එක තියෙනවා 2 මිලියන් බේස් එකක් ඉන්නවා. මම මුලින්ම කියන්නේ අපේ software එක ගැන. line screen කියන cell broadcasting software එකක් Celtic Dialog එකත් එක්ක වැඩ කරනවා. ඔයගොල්ලන් දැකලා ඇති famous 077 live කියන්නේ ඒ service එකට cell broadcast service එකට අපි Dialog එකේ අපේ operating service එකට අපි කියන්නේ 077 live. ඒක රටවල එක විදිහට කියන නිසා cell broadcasting service එක. ඉතින් අපිට දැනට ඉන්නවා 2 million Dialog base එකක් තියෙනවා. viewers ලා ඉන්නවා. ඒකෙන් 600,000 active clickers ලා ඉන්නවා. අපිට මේක වැඩ කරන්න කිව්වොත් එහෙම මට ඊළඟ slide මේ විදිහට මේකේ තියෙන්නේ teaser idle screen එකේ teaser එකක් එනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකේ menu items බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ response එක ගන්න මේක අපි මේ service එක ගොඩක් කරන්නේ quizzes tips facts ඒ වගේ දෙයක්. ඒ වගේම අපි live crickets posts dialog එකේ operator promotions ඒ වගේ දේවල් කරනවා. ඉතින් දැන් මේක live cricket school එකේ පොඩි එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙනම් mobile phone Estel versus essay, click now. It was made right let's go. Let's say response again. අපි ඔයගලන්ට කොහොමද මේක වැදගත් වෙන්නේ කියලා කියනවා නම් අපි introductory price එකක් විදිහට rupees 2000 වලට එක broadcast කරනවා. ඒක broadcast කරන මේ lines එකේ response එක menu item එක ඊසෙක ඉස්සරහට වෙනවා ඔයගලන්ගේ service එක කොහොමද use කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ කියලා introductory price එකක් විදිහට rupees 2000 වලට broadcast එකක් අපි cost කරලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේකෙන් මම කලින් කිව්වා වගේ 200,000 viewers ලා ඉන්නවා. ඒක total base එකේ අපේ ඒ වගේම 600,000 active clickers ලා ඉන්නවා. එක broadcast එකකින් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් එක broadcast එකක් 500 to 1000 users ලා බලනවා. හැබැයි තමයි කැමති නම් විතරයි ඒගොල්ලන් ක්ලික් කරන්නේ. ඉතින් එතකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපේ ප්‍රොමෝට් කරන සර්විස් අපිට එක broadcast එකකින් 50-100ක් අතර users ලා ගන්න අපි recruit කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ subscribe කරන අපේ app එක. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩක් ඉන්ට්‍රස්ටිං දෙයක් කියලා ඉගෙන ඊළඟ සයිඩ් එකේ පටන් ගත්තම පෙන්නන්න කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියලා. දැන් අපි fitness tips ඔයගොල්ලන් ප්‍රොමෝට් කරනවා නම් mobile screen එක අයින් වෙලා තියෙද්දි get fitness tips for just rupees 2 කියලා එකක්. ඒකට ඊළඟ මොකද කියලා ක්ලික් කරාම subscribe නම් කියනවා. අපි මෙතන තවත් කියන්න ඕනේ තව අපිට more info එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ user තවත් විස්තර දෙන්න ඕන නම් subscribe කරන්න කලින් subscribe now දාන්න එයාට okay කියලා ක්ලික් කරාට පස්සේ අපේ certification code එකකින් අර customer ගේ request එක ක්ලික් කරන Ideamart එකේ ඒ අදාළ keyword එකට අදාළ show code එකට ඊට පස්සේ customer subscribe කරනවා. ඊළඟට එහෙම තමයි වෙන්නේ නම් ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් සම්බන්ධ දැනට මේක ගොඩක් SMS based apps වලට තමයි හඳුන්වලා දීලා තියෙන්නේ. create downloadable apps වලට අපි download බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. අපේ රෙන්ටර් එනවා ලොක්ස් එකක් අපිට access එකක් කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. අනිත් එක කලින් කෙනෙක් කිව්වා වගේ මම කියන්න දෙන්නේ දැන් අපේ හැම app එකක්ම අපි daily rental එකක් යන apps. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා අපේ success එක ගොඩක් වැඩි. ඒතර මේ හරියට මොකද අපි මේ customer base එක ඔක්කොම ඉන්නේ prepaid ඒ වගේම low cost customer base එකක්. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා අර අපේ success rate එක ගොඩක් වැඩි වෙන අපේ daily rental එක ගොඩක් බලපාලා තියෙනවා. ඔයගොල්ලන්ත් කැමති නම් අපිට කතා කරන්න. අපි ඔයාලට free content කරලා දෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ ඔයගොල්ලන් මොන හරි queries තියෙනවා නම් අපිට කතා කරන්න රොෂන්ට කියන්න. අපි ඔයාලට clickers basic queries කරන්න උදව් කරනවා. Thank you so much.
So, two million basic point la
dialog customers.
They gonna select करके.
Oh, we can
They are subscribers to this.
Probably 600,000 white time. 2 million is the limitation, but 600,000 of white time. And depending on the value proposition of the application and what it can provide, people click. So actually, I personally believe that when they are given very low numbers, but if you get a lot of clicks on 077. Depends on the
So how much the people who subscribe pay? Or is it free?
It's a free service for subscribers. 077.
Actually, not free. Yeah, 2 rupees per click.
Yeah, click.
Yeah.
So once they start using,
So, like, can we select the target market when sending the broadcast?
Actually, it's Google based now.
Yeah, that means you are selecting a random sample from the target market.
Yeah, just broadcasting.
Goes to everybody.
Provided that they are having the handset on their hand.
Okay. So what if a person just randomly click it like without buying it?
That's why we are we have to have more info about that before subscription, so that they can click on that.
anyway, after the first click, you get the subscribe now screen coming. So he has to click again. So you, I mean, no one can say that they did it without.
So from the first screen, second screen, you don't charge anything.
Yeah, from the first click.
First click you charge.
After that you get the message. Thank you so much. Please do contact us if you have any questions.
Okay, so idea. Our next presenter, let me introduce is as the winner of one of the most prestigious awards in Sri Lanka. He was the winner of the 5 awards for technology development, right? During that year, in '97. Mr. Niranjan Nigama, guy with great ideas, right? He's the first guy, actually when internet was introduced to Sri Lanka, I think way back in 94-95 era by Lanka Internet, right? It was first commercial establishment came up with internet, and the second was I can't remember, but the third was CCOM, right? And Niranjan actually was the master at CCOM, and when everyone was like saying internet is for the English speaking, rich crowd, Niranjan broke the boundaries and went ahead with a Sinhala website. He is the pioneer. Today you would be, going through what Manammanam, then Kapua.com, etc., etc. But the first Sinhala website came from Niranjan Nigama, right? So let's welcome Niranjan. He has something very interesting to say, right, about how internet reaches rural areas. So Niranjan, please.
Thanks guys, great developers, great content providers for the young people. Of course, I started my ICT maybe in my middle ages because I was a surveyor engineer. I worked in the Hattakandia, all kind of places, building dams, culverts, irrigation networks, and 13 times malaria. So that's what I had. So that made me like very much close to the people in outside country. I travel like 75% of Sri Lanka I have traveled. I know the roads like back of my hand. So I started thinking, how can IT can help them? So the moment I started working in computers, I was like 25 years. I started working. So I studied, and at that time there were no ACBT, no slate, nothing, and carbon might tell you. So Shikam was a place where I could play. It was like a playground because the internet was there and nobody is doing anything in the language line. So we started doing certain things and which clicked. We first got this Lankadipa.lk to do Lankadipa online. So what happened was people got to know about this www. Otherwise, it wouldn't have traveled the, when Lankadipa newspaper publishing on their, just below their headline, from the title, below the title, they put www.lankadipa.lk balanno or something. So then people were curious to find out what is this www. I think it was a great thing what we did because it introduced internet to the rural people, the people who are, but still they were not users. They know that there is something called internet and it has a lot of stuff. Mainly they thought so, and around 2000 I had the chance to go America. Somebody invited me to do I would say an app on kind of an app on astrology. So they wanted me to do some software development. I spent there like 6 months. And at that time, the .com was booming, and I was in Los Angeles and Park, and I really enjoyed working with some Indian guy and a Sri Lankan American, and I learned how the Americans use internet for marketing their product. One of the best thing happened to me is I was like a big guy. I went to America and I was looking for the address. Number 35 Old Boulder Road, Patalaya or something. That is how we find places. And to find in Los Angeles, all the companies marked with their domain names. And I was not able to find the location that I happened to go. So I think I met you somewhere. I met you in the university. Somebody took me there and accidentally, that is how I met Kavu. So that was that time. But when I came back to Sri Lanka, I wanted to do something really nice. So I talked to my friend. We drank so much of coffee and tea and we discussed. So immediately came up with this idea of computer. We thought, let's make a gateway to other things. in Sinhala, give them access to Sinhala email. So it worked, we created a new fund and all, and to start, when we started, it was, Kapra.com was only 5 pages. Somebody mentioned it, I think. Thank you for remembering it. We made it 5 pages, just 5 pages, and integrated Kapra.com to many other services in Sinhala language. So that worked. So then, the Kapra.com had but 20 developers, everybody are developing things and putting there. And you cannot change the homepage because there were so many owners, they won't put their link. Still it is there, so we are not changing it because it is like a historical thing, and we just kept it there, and it's there, and it is making some money, and it is enough for me to not to do a job. Like you said, it is not enough. Google, it has been very kind enough, but today the scenario is a bit different. People are looking at so now I want to tell you about East Sri Lanka. That is very important because in 2004 the government brought in the East Sri Lanka project. I think all young people are beneficiaries. At the same time there was the school net, then e-village project and all, and universities started like Professor Sam and all, they started this degree courses so that we were able to develop so many young people for the international ICT market. So I think the first university courses were started at UCS, and which produced some young developers. And then NIBM did a good job at that time, but then came informatics, the private sector, and also the developers were coming and doing. So by the time when we came to like 2005 and 2006, this era, the ICT boom, like the bubble, like .com was a crash, like 2000. So, but in 2005 area, the Unicode was done. Sinhala Unicode was done, completed, and you might ask why it took like 10-15 years to make language there. Because we were working with all the professors, Sinhala professors, to get this Unicode standard done, and Professor Gehan is mentioning. So we went into East Sri Lanka project where we thought, I'm one of the guys, there are many, not only me. We wanted to take these benefits of ICT into rural areas. I have here, I really like to get up, may I see here? Dilan. Where is Dilan? Isn't it? Please get up. I want to give example now. Dilan is from Denia. I met him like 2006, September, like 15th or between 21st, because that is where he launched Ilpasar, okay, Dilan said. So Dilan was a young guy who was working at the telecenter, at Nanasa, which is a place with 2 computers. I'll show you a typical Nanasa, how it looked like, some of these photos. So it created Dilan an opportunity to get connected to internet. That time the computers were there, like large amount of used computer landed in Sri Lanka, and rural people immediately 5,000 to 10,000, they all bought computers. And they had like 1 million worth of software. They didn't have to pay for it. So the computers were there. The internet made the big difference with the Nanasala because the government, there were no connection, they gave visa, from Lanka. It's TV Lanka, right? So they TV Lanka, the company, they gave satellites to everywhere. They were paying like 60,000 rupees per month to give internet access to this telecenter. I think it's a worth contribution because that created this interest in the telecenters and the rural people. So some of the photos that I would show you, so some of the things that we did during that time to develop telecenters, getting this hardware training into rural people like girls learning how to assemble computers. Okay. Some of the awards that we have won for our work, and this is the kind of place that you are going to give your content and services. I saw most of your apps, they are reaching Colombo and Kandy fine. So I was searching for groups in Kandy and Colombo. I found many Facebook groups in Facebook. But I was searching for a Badulla group, no Nuvareli, no Markali, no Dehyata Kandi. So this is the kind of, we are working on two spots, that is Colombo and Kandy. One of our weaknesses, you said Chanaka, you might consider reaching people who are others. We are talking about millions of people. It is the matter that the problem that we have to address is how do we reach them? Of course, we are talking about marketing. So these are the kind of people who use ICT in rural areas. So the kind of adults are trying to use computers for what? For agriculture information. Actually, they don't have time to change. They are working in their farms, they are coming very late to the house. Their needs are different. So, some of the ideas that you create, you have to identify the needs of these people if you are. Okay, this is a place where they had electricity. They didn't have electricity when we went first time. But when we went second time, they had electricity, so we made a presentation. So that's how they saw computers. A place called Dangallodia, quite far from Tanamalila, about 40 kilometers from Tanamalila into Jam. So this is Hampegamua. You see, this is the first time they saw a computer. And now they have a computer. This is a kind of a temple. And they were seeing a movie on the computer, so we gave them opportunity to experience the movie. So this is how we interact with rural communities, because they come in the night. You cannot capture them daytime, so you have to make a film show and earlier we used to have those things, At that time when there was no TV, මේ අපේ ගමට සිංහලෙන් කිව්වම තමයි එනවා මේ ඇවිල්ලා කාටුන් පෙන්නන. පෙන්නලා ඉවරලා අපි ඇක්චුලි කාටුන් පෙන්නලා කොකු කොන රෝගය ගැන අපිට කියලා දෙනවා. ඉතින් මේ අපි එහෙම තමයි මේ පබ්ලික් අවයර්නස් එක කරේ ටීවී එහෙම නැති කාලේ අපිට මතකයි අපි ඉතින් බිම ඉඳගෙන අර කාටුන් ඔක්කොම බලන අන්තිමේදී ඒක උඩ ඉතින් මේ මයික නැෂනල් ෆිල්ම් කෝපරේෂන් නෝ ඒ යුනිට් එකෙන් අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ එහෙම. These techniques are valid even today. Don't think they are not valid. You go to a village, you take your multimedia projector, introduce your app or something, with a showing a film or something. After that, you can introduce app or something in a community. This is still works, this old method. You have to connect with people one-to-one basis, and this is one of the prestigious awards that we won for our work, Stockholm Challenge for Education. This is how the young people are interacting with computer. You see, how many computers are there? 2. How many are in queue? So this is the kind of people that you will be serving. Okay, these 2 girls are very important. From where are they? They are from Damba. They are from Vedda tribe. Veddi Gotrika, Damai Denek, me, Negolo, and Sarak Hambila. Egolo computer පාවිච්චි කරනවා. හැබැයි ඉන්ටර්නෙට් තහනම්. ඉසහක් तो इंटरनेट वලට ආසයි. කම්පියුටර් හොඳයි. හැබැයි වැඩි ළමයි මේ ටවුන් මයියකගේ ටවුන් එකට ගිහිල්ලා හොරෙන් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් බලනවා. මේ ඉන්නේ මේ අපි හිතනවා මේ වගේ කමියුනිටිස් එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ ඉන්නේ ආන්දරවල. මේ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලා පොඩි නිවින් වහන්සේලා ඒගොල්ලෝ කම්පියුටර් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. මම මේ කතා කරන්නේ ICT ගැන, මොබයිල් ගැන නෙමෙයි. එතකොට මේ තියෙන්නේ මේ වගේ මොනවද නැනසලවල් වල ළමයි මේ ෂැට්. Then මේගොල්ලෝ ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යූස් කරනවා. මේ ඇග්‍රිකල්චර් ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් වලට අපි කරපු ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකක් මේ ස්කයිප් උගන්වනවා ඉංග්‍රීසි. ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් ස්කයිප් එකෙන් ඉංග්‍රීසි උගන්වනවා. So this is මේ අපි ඉතින් යන්න සල්ලි අරගෙන බයිසිකල් වල පටවගෙන ඒ රූට්ස් වලට යනවා. ඉතින් ඒ යනකොට ගන්න පොතයක්. So this is a very interesting life, and this kind of roads that you have to go. This one my first vehicle that I used to go to. Now I just show you this photograph to understand how the I would say millions of people, majority of Sri Lankans live. Now, how they use computers? Now, I had a chat with my team, young people. How would you, have you ever asked, who the first mobile phone you use? So I was having a chat with my daughter, she's there. So she was telling me, Islam අම්මලා තාත්තලා ෆෝන් එකක් ගත්ත ගමන් ගන්න අවුරුදු 14 15 දී ළමයි මේක හවස ගෙදර ආව ගමන් they hijack. එතකොට ඒ hijack කරන්න මේ උතුරු ටික ගන්න කොහොමද දන්නවද? අම්මලා තාත්තලාට එලාම් එක තියාගන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. පොඩි පොඩි දේවල් මේගොල්ලෝ කියලා දෙනවා. The parents think they is the expert. ඔයා ෆෝන් එක වඩ මේක හදලා. Because of that, they can get access the phone when they come home. The phone is belong to the children. So this is how it starts. Then around age of 16, they anyhow you start using little bit of SMS and all, using somebody else's phone. And every household in Sri Lanka generally has a phone. I have seen people who cannot spend 200 rupees or 100 rupees to send their children for tuition a month, but they have a phone at home. So believe me, I haven't seen a house without a phone today. I travel like places, maybe there are places that I haven't traveled, but in places that I have traveled, Ramkula, Pulange, Panama, anywhere, I see there is a mobile phone, but no computers. But now you have to understand the difference between computer usage and the mobile phone usage. Why people use computers? People use computers for business, like designing and all, to find something. And some amount of, some kind of people, they use computers to Skype with their foreign relatives. To do Skype. The purpose why they buy computers. But a lot of people buy computers to have a computer at home. Because our children can learn and all, like, when the other guy buy a TV, I buy an antenna at least. So basically, it's the, so I will show you. And there is another, now, with telecenters going, Nanasala, I wouldn't say all 650 Nanasala, but I would say telecenters including some cyber cafes. So, okay, this is just to show what we took to the rural people. Total internet, you don't need internet, total thing is here, using the local host. 12 GB application to learn from grade primary to advanced in Singapore. So this is what we need. So that is how we could connect. Give them something better. Okay. When you say you will not agree with me, you give chat applications. What is the purpose of a chat? Where is it going to end? Chat. You give them educational application, what is the purpose of that learning and where is it going to end? So you have to look at your app or whatever the content or service that you give, it upgrades their life. You can get money to give them little entertainment and all. You look at the TVs nowadays, you spend like, people spend like 2 hours in front of TV. I don't watch local TV at home because I get my all news and everything through the internet, I don't need. But a lot of people spend, but when they go to sleep in the evening, sometimes they haven't got anything. They just spend the time in front of a TV. So now this is a question whether we want to, there is a very easy way of making money. But will our country be developed? So how would you add value to the life of people? By doing content and service. So my suggestion is focus on improving their life. Definitely they will come. So if you improve, if you keep doing things like YouTube, chat, tips or education or health or something, that you give them something to improve their life next day, to make them happy, not just entertainment, but I would suggest educate. That is education with little entertainment. So one of the things we tried at, we are developing a new site called with my friend, he is a top class developer, so I like him, he is a good developer, I am. So we are working with computer.lk. One of the things that we tried was infographics. Because the text is over. People don't like text, people don't have time to read text. But if you can present something on a video from as a photograph or a picture, it works. People like it. So we put a small marketing thing. I suggest how much time people spend on different networks or per month, like Facebook this number of minutes and Google this number of minutes, and people also put computer.lk 2 minutes. So that you are putting yourself among the big guys and look like another big guy, even if so this kind of info, right? It really had a trending, right? A lot of people were watching it and they wanted to know. People wanted to know things. If I ask you, have you ever done any research to find out who's the most popular politician in Sri Lanka? Top 10 popular politicians, if you just give them, even if it is not right, people will want to know. So that's something you make a curiosity, people want to know something. So it's also education as well as some entertainment also, but political education. The second thing is, can you make some revenue to the people? Not only to you. Create an opportunity for other people to make some money. For example, I know that there are some websites that are putting advertisements, and I know Dialog TradeNet is there. There are things. So sometimes you don't have to start from zero. You can couple with the already existing things. Can you add value to Dialog TradeNet? Can you make it more personalized to something? Can you do something that will add value to something else already existing? So those are the things that kind of rural people would use. Something that improve their life, something that make them money, something like that. That's something that they would want to. Third thing I want to tell you now, when you look at the rural ICT market as a market, we tried so hard to bring adult people into using computers. They do. They love presentations, right? They like to come and sit. If you use a multimedia projector, if you are teaching something, they will love. But they wouldn't go to computer and find the latest price of panda cow or anything. People came with this idea, it didn't work. Because you cannot teach all, they say, tricks or something like that. Maybe that. So we failed it. But the market that we could really tap was the young people. Because in schools, they teach A-level ICT, O-level ICT. Now, a lot of schools now teach O-level ICT curriculum, so that a lot of young people are ICT literate. And there is a GIT exam in A-level, so they are ICT literate and internet is taught, and they are. And when I looked at, I would say from 16 to 23 is the most active crowd on internet when it comes to rural. And what is their favorite application? Favorite website, favorite application that they access? Can anybody tell me? It's Facebook. Not just because they want to do it at Facebook. Having their profile in Facebook is a sort of like he's a big guy. I am on Facebook. So that's to have a profile in Facebook. Twitter, never heard. So Facebook, they have heard. You know what happened to this flying fish? It's now world famous. You criticize something, you create something bad. The Facebook has become made popular by its criticizers. Not the people like when President's Secretary Mr. Lalit Veeratunga make an announcement that Facebook is no good. People want to know what is it. He once in ISOC meeting he said Facebook is a fake, so that people will want to know. So sometimes the bad publicity helps. I am not asking you to do anything bad publicity, but it has helped Facebook to be to position on the minds of the young people. Then secondly, why they are using mobile phones? Now I'll come to mobile phones, from ICT to mobile phone. The mobile phone usage behavior, you have to modify if you want to go fast. I don't know how you do that. Because if your apps has to be modified, modifying their behaviors of usage. Like the behavior modification games, there is some theory on that one that I did a little bit reading but not expert on it. So their behavior right now is maximum use of mobile phone for SMS. Mainly for relationships. 500 SMS package is so popular because they want to, SMS is a thing that they use much than GPRS or AT. Now the GPRS is being available in most places and 3G becoming available and 4G is on the edge, So if you focus on these apps or whatever the content and services that you do, it should be the young market if you want to make. Then the second thing, they wouldn't now. Do you know the average reload amount of a young person? You must be able to tell us. Dialog must have some sense. 20 rupees or I think 20. 20 you can reload, right? I have a postpaid, so what is the amount now? We will ask one of my guys, they are kind of studying students. How much you would normally reload? Yeah, 50. So 50, but even 20. Now like this, like he said, this 30 rupee thing, if you are going to get, I want to have so many SMSs to my girlfriend, not this, all these things, I cannot get that. So you have to find a way of making them pay as you use something. So that must have something. So these young people, now I will come to the serious stuff. If you are really serious, I am a guy who came from a rural village, we didn't wear slippers to the school because nobody in the school wears slippers. If you wear slippers to the school or shoes, they look at you, what are you wearing? So that's once there was a nice thing happened to me. My father, he came to Colombo and he bought us, my sister and myself, 2 raincoats. So on a rainy day we were wearing the 2 raincoats and we went to the school, my small village. Maybe I was in grade 4 or 5 or some 4 maybe. So all the school, other students are coming into class, but we were wearing it. They were all running around until we leave school, whether we will wear it on the way back. So we didn't, that day it was raining, but we put the thing in the bags and we went in the rain. Use it like that. So because that was the time, that was the kind of Sri Lanka that we. But today, it's not that. If you go to Laugala village, the kind of clothes that they wear, the kind of lifestyles there is not much different from Colombo. They are very stylish. They catch up things so fast. So one of the things that they need is education, jobs. So these are the needs. So you have to, if you are developing an app or something or anything that you design, go down to the people. Go to this Natamis, go to the street, treat guys, talk with them. Tell them I have an idea like this. What do you think? Will it help you? So go down to your kind of market and have a talk with people. They will give you the best ideas to build into your app, how it should be. They are aware. So those things are like that. So I think as a person who has come from, I got a scholarship, I got all the support from people, so we came. So everything after my board was a bonus. So for me, contributing back is really important for me. So that makes me feel happy. So I also invite you. Okay, think money, right? Money will come after you. Don't go after money. You know, money will enjoy what you are doing. Like he said, he is doing it for curiosity. I really like it. So your curiosity can help to improve somebody else's life. So think of, go, you know, just if you want to make experience, if you want to travel to rural people, if you want accommodation and things, to research what they want to know, what they want to have, please tell us, we will take you there. Mana, Trinco, Lahutala, Ampara, or anywhere, because we have a big project going on soon. One of the things that I am planning to do is create a content market for local content. Who local? One of the things, mobile 10 commandments, one is focus on native content. So what you can find, and start building small communities around your native content. Maybe 10, 15 people, it will grow. Like these Google circles, just grows. It just grows. You just pump the content into a small group and it will grow. So, and also trying to focus content to the whole Sri Lanka at once, I don't think it is going to work. And Morelia people, they want very special kind of content. Fishermen, they need very specific information. One of the apps created, I would say, project created in Miris was ඔයාලට එක සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ ලේසි. ඔයාලට ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ මුහුදේ ප්ලවාංග කියලා જાතියක් තියෙනවා. මාළු කන, තල්මස්සු කන ඒ වගේ. ඒවා කියන තැන් මේ සැටලයිට් මැප්ස් වලින් මේ මැප් කරලා මේ you can get it internet. එතකොට මේ one guy, he did a project, he was getting this data from internet and he is putting them, he can find the latitude, longitude. He was using some Dialog, has a portal to send online SMS. So he had a lot sort of SMS subscribers who can receive SMS at the sea. So he sent these coordinates to those people. And they were following those coordinates to fishing sites. So now if he didn't come from Mirissa, nobody knows about it. No? So he was one Anasalajay. Like he now works for, what is the company you work? Global Teco, some Denmark. You see now, the ICT development in Sri Lanka helped him to, we helped him. I mean, initially, internet and all, and now he is a developer, he is in this conference. So don't think the rural people or the people in Deniai or Matala, they have so much of creativity. So, but only thing they don't have opportunities, no education. Like the kind of education they can have is MScs. So I would ask Dialog to start a training course. We will send some young people on Android development. Because something that we have to do is get some people to learn it now. I know all of you, most of you are highly busy people and in the universities. But if you really look at just after A-level people, young people, when they are waiting for the university, and if you start training them to do how to develop Android interfaces, content and all, the moment they go to university or even go to higher education, they will have time to spend to develop the. If you look at Facebook was developed by university guys, young people. Young people always have better ideas to change the world. So that's why I think I have taken a lot of time. Some other time I will take it. But I think the rural areas are waiting. They need content, they need services, but you have to a little bit commit for them. Go there, talk with them, find them, associate them, find out how their kind of lifestyle. Then you support their lifestyle with some sort of content and services, it will work. Otherwise, if you are trying to find out, one of the best ideas somebody talked to me was, if I want to go someplace, I just enter where I want to go and where I am. So anybody traveling to that place will give me transport. I can share. I told him, it can happen if your family or relations are traveling. Did you think about the privacy? That guy want to take you in the car and so we haven't grown into a society like that yet. So you have to be practical when you're designing apps, whether it will go with the culture, whether it will go with the, like when the police stops you, who is this guy? I met him through SMS. So that's kind of a, now we do short films. So we do short films, I will end up with this. One of the things that I am trying to do is create a content market for short films. Short films are very interesting things because like long films, you tell a long story after you come out, you forget Arnold and Schwarzenegger, all these Sylvester Stallone, you forget. But if you see a short film, like 3 minutes or 4-minute short film, sometimes short films change how you think, how you approach things. So we are trying to develop, we have got some funding from Microsoft and World Bank, some 7 million rupees, and plus more, to create content for mobile. So one of the things that we are going to do is create some short films which will have some social impact, not just entertainment or music. One of the things we created was a child soldier about the soldiers, child soldiers returning to society, something about this Muslim and single community issues, but not taking sides, but just talking about social things. So those things also will come onto this thing. We are trying to create a content market to download these kind of small videos for a small fee and share it with them. So this digital business has to have a heart. I would suggest you to have a heart because we are a country, usually run by heart rather than America or other countries. We may be changing, but still we do it with a heart. So focus on heart, focus on people, focus on their needs. Definitely you will be a success. And just try it out. So that's what I think. And if anybody wants to work with rural people, try out, improve, to promote your app or anything. So work with us. We are traveling like all the places. We will introduce you to those people. And get out from Colombo. Get out from Kandy. I would say Kandy and Colombo are the two places. But if you get out, but of course, we can test it out in Kandy and Colombo. But when it comes to rural people, it will be different. Okay, thanks.
Actually, one of the main key focus points of Niranjan's presentation was basically that all of us, again, I'm talking about this idea and how we have this tunnel vision. It's how to take these ideas beyond Colombo, beyond the city boundaries. And as he clearly mentioned, he's willing to help you. So, on this brilliant enterprise, use Niranjan as a major network, very popular guy out there, and has a lot of connections. Use Niranjan and look at those areas as well. Another announcement that we want to make is that we are going to have a promotion with Digit magazine. I'm sure almost all of you are illiterate and from IT backgrounds, know Digit magazine. And we are actually throwing this promotion out from 1st of August. The first time we are announcing it, so you see a lot of this, a lot more announcements about this event in the upcoming days. Simple promotion or simple idea. We're giving the developers out there to submit ideas from 1st to 15th August via digit.lk. And we will provide feedback to all the ideas that come in, try and enrich them, enhance them, and also start supporting the development. And by the 31st August midnight, these apps should be online. Should be published on Ideamart. And the only condition is that any app creator to be eligible for the contest should have used one API, at least one API from the Ideamart. Sounds fair? We haven't announced the prizes as yet, but trust me, it's going to be something really cool. Right? Get all the details by the first. So please visit digit.lk and you'll get the details. Because we've almost come to the end of the first ever Idea Bash, and again, stressing point would be to think out of the box. Right? Don't get stuck with the same idea or by seeing some other person's application trying to do something better. Fine, most welcome, but also look at different lines. You all had your snacks today, right? By the way, there are small lifts, so please, on your way out, or even now, if you can, please go help yourselves out. You've been here sometime, almost more than 3 hours. Right? Now, these snacks were from Pereira and Sons. Right? So, there were many others who were willing to provide us with refreshments today, but we thought of Pereira and Sons. There was the one reason. Pereira and Sons came to Dialog about a month back and wanted to know how they could have an ordering system. They have about 120, 150 outlets, and every morning the requirement is faxed to the head office or said in a rush on a phone. What did Ideamart do? They have a very simple USSD application that allowed them to place the order. Right? This is what we are looking at. We want you to think out of the box. There are so many use cases out there, and as Niranjan was stated, there are people who need these. There are needs out there. Those needs create ideas. That's what we want you to go and fetch, develop. With that thought, we conclude. Let's conclude the first step Idea Bash. We will. Okay, so let's conclude the first step Idea Bash. We intend to have this on a quarterly basis. We shall definitely inform you of the next Idea Bash, and we will have many more different means of thinking and many other programs added through the Idea Bash. This is more or less informal one, but trust me, it's going to be more fun from next time onwards. So thank you so much for attending.